Shabbat Shalom, everyone. How are you? This week's Torah portion is called Terumah, and it is about the tabernacle. Do you remember what the tabernacle is called in Hebrew? Yes, it's the Mishkan. The Mishkan, and it's the place where Adonai meets with us. So we have a model tabernacle here. B'nai Mitzvah class, if you remember building this a few weeks ago. So we have the courtyard here with the curtains and the entrance, and we have the covering over the holy place and the Holy of Holies, the most holy place. So do you remember what each of the parts are? We have, what is this? This is the altar. And what happens on the altar? What do the priests do? The priests offer the sacrifices on the altar. That's right. And then what is this? Yes, that's the basin. And then in here we have some neat things. This is the holy place. And what do we have in the holy place? Yes, that's the menorah. And we have the table with, what are these? These are loaves of bread. Yes, this is the bread. And how many loaves are there? There are 12. So there's a stack of 6 here and a stack of 6 here. 6 plus 6 is 12. That's the bread. So 1 loaf for each of the tribes of Israel. And then this is the altar of incense. And we'll talk more about that next week because that is in next week's Parsha. And then what is this place called? This is the most holy place. And what's inside? Wow, do you know what this is? Let's read about it. I'm going to set it right here, right now, while I read about it. So this is from Exodus chapter 25, beginning in verse 17. Make an atonement cover of pure gold, 2.5 cubits long and 1.5 cubits wide, and make 2 cherubim out of hammered gold at the ends of the cover. Make 1 cherub on one end and the 2nd cherub on the other. Make the cherubim of one piece with the cover at the 2 ends. The cherubim are to have their wings spread upward, overshadowing the cover with them. So that's what these are on the top. The cherubim are to face each other, looking toward the cover. Place the cover on top of the ark and put in the ark the testimony which I will give you. There above the cover, between the 2 cherubim that are over the ark of the testimony, I will meet with you and give you all my commands for the Israelites. So this is what is so special about the holiest place, the Holy of Holies. It has the Ark of the Covenant in it. And on top, what are these? We just read about it. Yes, these are the cherubim, and they are made of pure gold. Pure gold. And God says he will what with us here? He will meet with us here. But wait a minute, where do we put this? It goes in the holiest place, the Holy of Holies, the most holy. Can just anybody go in there? No. Can you or I go in there? No. Who gets to go in there? Only the high priest. And can he go in there any day? No, that's right. He can only go in there once a year on Yom Kippur. Only the high priest can go in once a year on Yom Kippur. Wow. So the cherubim are made of pure gold. Now that gold is where God meets with us, but we have a problem because we can't just go in there. We're going to talk about that in a minute. What's inside the ark? So inside the ark, Adonai says he will put his testimony. What is that? The testimony. Those are, do you remember what God gave them at Mount Sinai? The 10 Commandments. That's right. So the commandments are in the ark. And then what else is in here? What is that? That is the jar that held the manna. And the manna, remember then that God provided the bread for them to eat in the wilderness. And then the ark also held what? That is Aaron's staff that budded. So these 3 things were inside the ark. Now, whereas the mercy seat, the cherubim, were made of pure gold. Gold represents the deity of God. The ark itself is wood, acacia wood, overlaid with gold. So in the scriptures, the wood represents humanity and the gold represents deity. So when we see the Ark of the Covenant with wood overlaid with gold, we think about Yeshua because he was both God and man. And then when we put the cover on top, it's pure gold. This is where God the Father meets with us, and that is in the holy place. Now, let's go back to how can we meet with God if we can't go there? Well, how did people meet with God? First, they had to come in through the entrance, and there had to be a sacrifice, and there had to be a washing with the word. And then the priest could enter here, and then only the high priest could enter here. But do you remember when Yeshua died? This curtain ripped from top to bottom. Now that means that Yeshua is our high priest, and through Yeshua we can meet with God. He meets with us. Yeshua is our mediator. Hallelujah. Shabbat Shalom.